All right, guys. Um, I hope you guys can see me here. Lightning here. It's afternoon right now, so it might be a little bit hard. But well, guys, thank you for joining me right now here. Here today to do a little bit of reaction of one video, one of the videos that you might have seen, and talk just a little bit about Ethiopia situation and what's going on. Let me just remove this t-shirt here. It's this towel here. All right. Yeah, one situation that is going on in Ethiopia right now, and we're gonna still have a live stream later tonight at 9 p.m. But I was actually doing reaction of this video, the BBC News that you guys have seen, the title there, not the title, the thumbnail. But then I decided to just come here to do a live reaction right here because it was taking a long time to talk about it. So I hope I can remember. And the internet here, I don't know how it is, but I'm trying to play the video. It's a little bit hard to play, but hopefully it can work. Guys, if you're joining me right now, thank you for joining me. We all know what is going on in Ethiopia right now, and for me, it's a state of emergency to ask all Africans to come together and to unite. Today, I've done the second part of My Fellow Africans. I've done a video that I'm going to share with you guys very soon. I'm trying to upload right now. It's just a message to unite and to bring awareness about what is happening right now in Ethiopia. And I've been talking to my friends. I've been talking to a lot of people all over the world, and one thing in common that we all agree is that what is going on there is not a civil war, but it's a colonial war. Whether you believe it or not, but this is how I see it, and this is how most of us will see it because of how things are going on. And my friends, we have a WhatsApp group. My friends, they're sharing a lot of things there. And one of the things that has just happened right now recently is that America is also putting a sanction on Eritrea. Right? There's a letter. Let me see if I can share with you guys. There's this one tweet. Let me see if I can share with you guys. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but my brother, in the group, they share this with us, and it's saddening. It's saddening what is happening, and the way I see it, or the way a lot of us will see it in this situation, putting sanction on Eritrea is basically saying that, I don't want you guys to cooperate together, because if you unite together and cooperate together, there might be you might be stronger, together. So the easiest way for us to overcome is to weakening you guys, is to turn you against each other. And I don't know if Africans, I mean, we really need to be awake, and I don't want to send any negative energy to the people of America, I mean, to American people, because I know this is not about American people, but it's about the diplomatic and all these diplomatic relations that the US has with Africa. But this is the letter. Let me show you. Let me share with you guys here. I'll share this Twitter. Yeah, this is the letter right here that I saw in tweet. So you guys, if you go to tweet MFA Ethiopia, you'll be able to see that a statement on the US government sanction imposed on the Eritrean government 13 November 2021. So I'm talking about today, like this has just happened today, right? And it's a statement on the US government sanction imposed on the Eritrean government. The government of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia denounces the announcement of the United States on November 12, 2021, to impose sanctions on the states of Eritrea. We believe the US has failed to consider important facts. Anyway, so I'm not going to read all of it, but you guys can go and check it out. So these are, things that has happened. And I don't know I don't know what's going to be the response from, Eritrean government. I don't know what's going to be, but it's It's basically, you see that Ethiopia is somewhere there standing alone. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to cut the ties, every ties that you have, so that you may stand there alone, and it will be easy for us to defeat you. And I know this is very dangerous, what I'm saying right now. I acknowledge that, and I know it's not something easy to say. But it's very sad what is going on. And the video that I filmed today of my fellow Africans, please watch it when it comes out, because it's basically talking about us coming together and uniting together. And our weapon is not violence. Our weapon is not guns, it's not bombs, but our weapon is unity. And when we are united and when we come together, we're going to stand tall, and we're going to be able to overcome whatever challenges we are facing. I'll say this again. Our weapon is not guns, it's not bombs. It's not violence. I've seen this let me show you guys, and I'll be reacting here. I don't know why this video is not playing right now. Okay. I need to get rid of let me show you guys this video right here. I hope they're not gonna catch copyright. So because of that, I'm gonna need to stop a lot, you know what I'm saying, just to make sure that they're not catching copyright, because it's from BBC, right? Hopefully they're not gonna catch it. Let's see here. Let me share with you guys. I think you guys have seen this. All right, so let's try to watch this video together. You guys, I think you have seen this, right? I think you have seen this. So let me play a little bit, and then I'll be stopping. All right. That's what is happening. Running away all the way to Djibouti. They're going to Djibouti, and there's a little bit of interview here. Let's listen a little bit. I'll be trying to stop and talk to you guys.
Anything that happens within Ethiopia is inextricably tied to the security, the safety of the rest of the region. When Ethiopia has an internal conflict that may make it decide to withdraw forces from Somalia, now you have 5 African Union countries that are also affected.
And this is what my question, or this is what I'm asking, that I don't know what this affection is talking about. All these Eastern African countries, 5 that are affected because of the this thing that is going on in Ethiopia. I have no idea. So you guys, maybe you can help me out in the comment section. You know, maybe I don't know about this.
We also see enduring conflicts or points of tension. The border conflict between Sudan and Ethiopia, that risks of that turning, or perhaps with the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam with the GERD.
And maybe this is the point that he's talking about, because we all know that you know, the U.S. government has been, you know, kind of against this project that has been happening there in Ethiopia, and how much you know, the people of Ethiopia, they gave everything they can to build the largest dam in Africa, that it will benefit not only the people of Ethiopia, but African people as well.
It would change the calculus there. There's a risk that other countries may look at Ethiopia's internal focus as an opportunity to take something, whether it be a military action or stronger political action.
Okay, this is what he's saying here. He's right. And that country, I think, is the U.S., what he's trying to do right now, right? Internal conflicts, and to take advantage of that.
When
so you're right.
Is not credibly able to either continue operations or negotiation.
In the event Addis Ababa falls, what role can this base take? What role can the U.S. military take to deal with the impact of that?
And this is the thing, man. I don't understand that, you know, something is happening in Ethiopia. Something is affecting the people of Ethiopia, but you are all the way from another continent coming and try to help or try to support.
So
and I don't know what kind of support is that.
Here is to be able to respond to crisis.
But I'm going to get to my point.
To respond to crisis,
this is what I'm talking about, right? So you can see here that they're getting ready and prepare themselves, right, to come in.
Across Africa, but in particular,
this is just scaring people.
We have done an incredible amount of planning and preparation.
Okay, we have done an incredible amount of planning and preparation. about this.
To be able to respond, to assist in evacuation, to reinforce an embassy, to do a larger scale evacuation if necessary, both for U.S. personnel, U.S. Citizens or dual citizens, or those from other countries. The East African Response Force, the only U.S. East African Response Force, the only U.S. crisis response force that is located on the continent of Africa, is part of our command and located here.
Let me try to finish this first.
So we bring capabilities together from each of our joint services and allies and partners to any sort of crisis. And Ethiopia is obviously very concerning for us.
Ethiopia is obviously very concerned to us. So yeah, so that's the video that I wanted to come and to do reaction. And man, I don't know, man. Man, this got me thinking a lot about what we always talk about here, about what happened in Libya. This is something that we always talk about, you know, in our forum, what really happened in Libya. And we know how much it impacted people of Libya, that a lot of news that were going on, that there were being stories that were being told about Libya, we figure out that a lot of them, they were lies, right? But the U.S. was able to go there and to take care of the situation. And right now, Libya is worse than ever before. And they have done, and they left it. So people of Libya, they're struggling right now there. I wish Africa, like, were one since then, like, to know that what they want to do, it's actually risk for Africans, because a lot of lives have been wasted and lost. And the situation in Libya right now, man, it's worse, right? You guys have seen the news. And you can even see what happened with Zimbabwe as well, all the sanctions that US imposed in Zimbabwe. And right now we are going to Ethiopia, and all the sanctions are happening. But I don't know, and when Africa is going to wake up and know that our unity is our strength, and the only way for us to stand together, I mean, to defend ourselves, is to be one. Because US right now, they can easily come into Africa and go to exactly the country they want to do. They can do whatever they want to do. They have that power, and I don't know who give that power to them. But if we have a united Africa, they will have to come through African Union to be able to do anything. Whatever that they want to do, they will have to go through that. But right now, they can do anything they want to do to any country, like what is happening. This basically, I was watching this video and I was feeling so sad, because it feels like it's a threat, right? They're putting a threat that this is what we are going to do. We have been prepared. We had an amount of, but who do you want scared? I mean, who do you want to scare? With everything that you have, with guns and all these things that we've been preparing, and we are ready, you know, to go and to take care of the situation and to do this and this. Who do you really want to scare? Do you really have to go with your guns and with your bombs to say that I'm going? I want to make sure that the situation is at the right place, so I'm going to take care of this. Do you have to do that? Do you know how many people are going to die if that will happen? And my case and my argument, it's always that this is our conflict. This is African conflict. This is something that we need to embrace. This is something that we have to deal with ourselves. Ethiopian people, they have to be able to deal with that issue. Africa, we should be able to deal with that issue, especially when it comes to the matters of borders. For example, Ethiopia, Sudan, and Egypt, all this conflict, they should be able to be resolved by us Africans. We don't need somebody coming from outside who don't know what we really need to come and take care of the situation. And at the same time, they have a reputation. Whatever the country they go and take care of the situation, things are getting worse. Look at what happened in Pakistan just recently. And we are seeing right now, man, I feel like every single day, like things are moving too quickly, like too fast. Every single day, like something happened. Just today, I show you guys the sanction on Eritrea. I don't know what's coming. I don't know if there will be a sanction on me and other countries that are standing with Ethiopia. Okay, we have seen so many, how can I say, so many accounts being taken down because of what has been told. I mean, because of what people are talking about right now in this situation. So I don't know if you guys, you need evidence, and you need okay, I'll say this, guys. Whatever that has gone wrong in Africa, Africans can take care of themselves. We can take care of ourselves. That's what I'm saying. You are coming and you're making things worse because this is our matter, because this is African matter. All right. This is African matter. This is something that can be dealt with Africa and not anybody else. Not European, not Asian, not American. Nobody else. Nobody else can take care of this situation. Have you ever seen that, United States, US interfering with European Union in their matters? Or Asia or Russia? No, they cannot, because they're strong, because they're powerful. In Africa, we're weak because we're divided. That's why they'll always come. EU, I mean, Europe, they always want to try to put their nose in our business. Americans, they always come and put their nose in our business because we're not united and we cannot support one another. And it hurts me. It hurt me so much when I see that, people are quiet about this matter. Yes, I know there are people who are praying for Ethiopia right now, even though they're not saying anything. Because honestly, as much as I want everybody to say something, but not everybody going to say something. The people will pray, the people will say, the people, yes, but, I'm waiting for someone who wants to come here and to talk, to share with us, our sister from Ethiopia. My sister Netsi, where are you? Man, I'm feeling, somebody's asking me, how am I feeling today? Man, I'm feeling, I don't know, man. I tried, I did reaction on this video that I showed with you, but then after I finished, you see, I cannot even talk. Oh, I sent to WhatsApp. To WhatsApp. I can't even talk, guys. Like, I've tried to do reaction here of this. I did reaction, but then at the end of the day, I realized that I didn't turn on my camera. So I did reaction, and it was, I can't talk. Like that's how I feel. Like I cannot talk. I can't talk. Like all of a sudden, I just can't talk. And I know most of you feel the same thing. I know most of you feeling the same thing. Like you want to say something, but you feel like no one is listening. You feel like you cannot really express yourself. You cannot express your feeling. That's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel in this matter, in this situation, because you see the episode of this situation, like you see how it's going. And let's see, I send the link in the comment in WhatsApp, but if I'll share with you here as well. My sister Netsi will come here and share with us. Let me share here as well. I see the stages of this issue, how it's going. Okay, yesterday I shared the video of my brother who is actually living in Addis Ababa. They're teaching Swahili there and they're doing an amazing work. He shared about how the situation in Addis Ababa it is, that it's safe. This guy is moving outside around 5 a.m. I mean, 5 a.m. in the morning, and they're still working as usual. Of course, in another region of Tigray, say there's a war still going on there. But he was expressing about how the situation it is in Addis Ababa because the news is not talking. And this is the thing, guys, even the news, the video that I shared with you guys the other day, actually, they're not even on the YouTube channel of CNN and BBC. It's just on the website, right? It's there on the website. So you can go on the website and access it. And I'm wondering why it's not on the YouTube channel. I don't know if they uploaded recently, but I didn't see it. It's not there. So I'm wondering why you're not putting it there. And news, how it's talking about this issue, it's crazy. And that's why this is urgent call for Africans to come together and to talk about this matter. My sister Netsi, welcome.
Thank you. How are you doing?
Good. I see you have Habesha vibes on you.
Yes.
Looking
Wow, it's amazing morning for me. I just get up in the morning and I saw this one. I saw kind of it on Bloomberg yesterday. They had it also, but it wasn't. It was on the paper, so you don't really. Even though oh, these people are going fast, you don't really feel it. When you see the video, it makes you upset. I guess their intention is to scare people. That's how I see it. That's how it was portrayed right there. Like we have too much powerful, and you're like you have nothing. You cannot do anything about it. That's what they want to portray. But it gives me kind of a reminder where Ethiopians were when the Italian were like portraying the same portrait that the Americans doing right now. And it gave me a reminder of how the people would felt at that time, how they were so lift up to defend their God-given right? Mika, I don't like wars. I have a child. I am a woman. I like peace. I like people caring for each other, and I like peace. That is my common thing. That is my major motive for Africa, for the people of the world. Even though we have disagreements, I really believe we can come together and work on it, right? And for my fellow Ethiopians who are taking sides, I've been saying it. Please do not take side on any part of it. Try to see it beyond the struggle that we have, beyond the emotion that we are going through, and try to come up with some peaceful solution. Because I really believe we are able to do so. We are able to come up with a peaceful solution. And that's where my stand is. That's where my stand is. Even though I have disagreement in certain things that are going, whether it is with a PPLF or whether it is a government, I have my own view. I am a free person, right? I have my own thoughts. I have my own view of seeing and doing things. So I may not agree with both of them, or I may agree with most of them. It doesn't matter. But I know the politics that is going on is a point that is able to be solved by Ethiopians. Because at the end of the day, it is for the benefit of Ethiopians, right? For the common good of Ethiopians people. These people are a free people. This nation is a free nation. No one has a right. No one has a power to take away that right, because it is God-given right. They're not a puppet that somebody made. They are not robots that somebody is leading them with IA machine, right? They are human beings. They make their own decisions. And as a human beings, they have a community, they have a leadership, they have their own system, culture. And this system and culture put in place for thousands of years in the continent of Africa. And these systems are able to manage itself. It doesn't need any outer continent interference to solve a problem. And that's my stand, and that's what I see. Let me come to the video, right? What you just shared. The first thing that he was mentioning about is Ethiopia's troops were withdrawn from Somalia. Do you remember the time where America tried to interfere in Somalia, and then what happened to them? And then the Ethiopian soldiers went there and tried to stabilize the places, and they know that. They know they have no power over East Africa, and they know it very well. So because they don't have power in East Africa, they want to make sure the person that have a power in East Africa, or the country that has more power influence, right? It doesn't have to be economically. It doesn't have to be It doesn't have to be like, the way the world set it up, but the way the continent accepted, right? The way the people in Africa, the way the people in East Africa view it. If it has power, though, they have to control that. If they are able to control that, they are able to control the whole system of Africa. That's what they want.
Exactly.
And when I think when Abiy come to the power, do you remember the Nobel Peace Prize and everything?
Exactly. Yeah,
it's kind of a bribe, you know that, right? It was a kind of a bribe. So he will line up with their system, right? Oh, they would say, oh, they gave me this, I cannot do it, and there is a behind intention of it. It's not like a person just come up in a public media, in international media, in a moment that you just give him a peace prize. How did that happen? Like, what was the studies they did? Like, what did really concrete evidence that they have to say he did a peace prize? He did something to want. No, it was a prize. They want to shut him up for the things that he wanted. They were planning to do in the future, and I guess their bribe didn't work. I kind of didn't work. That's what I see. It did not work, and they want to take him down. That's what happened. They want to take him down, and they look for something. They found this the TPLF and the interest that they have.
Yeah.
By the way, when things were peaceful and going the right, things were peaceful before the war started, right, and going to certain ways, and even when you see the how do I put it? When you see after it started, they were standing in 30 lines. They are not working behind it, but they were standing in 30 lines. But when the Ethiopian government decided, I'm going to fill this guard. You remember when Trump was saying, like, Egypt has the right to bomb it down and everything. Like he want to put a gas on the fire and try to like bring it up high. And still the government was saying, okay, whatever you say, you try it, and we're going to do what we want to do. You're not going to tell us what to do as a country. You don't teach us how to lead a country. And that's because that was what they were trying to do, to show us, like, you are little babies, you don't have any father to show you things to do. So we are your stepfathers. So we're going to tell you what to do and come together. And the Ethiopians just walk away from it. And that wasn't really accepted by the government of US, I guess. They really take it as offense against them. They really take it as offense against their international name that they call their police of the internationals. And that goes, after that, it goes so fast. The speed, if you see it, it was so fast and so strong. They push it too hard to the limit that we are seeing today, right? And it's amazing. It's amazing. The way he said it, like, we are here in East Africa to respond the crisis for the crisis. Did you catch that? And I was asking myself, which crisis are you talking about?
He said that the situation in Ethiopia is putting in danger other, East African countries in in that region. So they want to put it in check, and I'm like, I don't see that. Like, I don't see that. I don't see that happening. And my sister, this is the reason why, and this is the reason why I am doing this, or we are doing this. I feel responsible for what has happened in Libya before. And I'll tell you why. I feel responsible because I didn't say anything when it was happening. I didn't say anything. I didn't speak about it. I didn't say anything.
That is true.
And most of Africans, we didn't say anything. So we were quiet as a coward and seeing our African brother and sisters taken down in Libya. And I promise myself I'm not gonna do the same mistake.
That
Yes,
is
let
true.
me be wrong. Let me be wrong. But at the end of the day, I know that I'm standing for my African brothers and sisters.
Exactly.
Why are you scared to be wrong like that? I cannot stand because, oh, maybe, you know, Ethiopia, they have their fault. This, everybody will have their fault. Everybody, they have their fault. But I cannot see, I cannot wait. I cannot sit down and see what happened in Libya, happen in Ethiopia, or happen in any other African country in Africa. I cannot stand and watch that and see that happening. That's why we have to stand. That's why my brother here is commenting about unification of Africa, because this is the only way for us to stand tall. I mentioned this before.
I agree.
Like they just put sanction on Eritrea today. They
Yes.
cannot put sanction on all African countries because they need Africa. All African, when we stand together, are you going to put sanction on all African countries? The situation, what is happening right now, I don't see the difference between this situation and what happened in Libya. I don't see the difference. And that's why Africa has to unite and stand together.
Exactly. I think if we are able to see it beyond our country, if we are able to see it, their trend, you were mentioning it earlier, the trend that they have, the reputation that they have in every country they get inside, right? Look what happened. Say it Libya, say it Afghanistan, say it Iraq. So look what happened. Look how the people are living. When you see that, and every person who have actually open eyes and the right mind will say this thing is wrong. Whatever it is, it should be somebody else who's gonna involve, who's going to involve, because your reputation that crisis intervention is wrong. There is something wrong with it, because at the end of the day, it leaves the people in crisis and it never picks them up. It leaves the people in a worse situation they were before. And that was shown again and again and again. It's not one time, it's not two times. As every country they moved in, they do the same thing. And why do they do that? Is that because they don't have the expertise to do that? No. It's because they have intention and they have interest of making sure all other countries are under their feet. So they will be able to stay on the top of the continent and the country, on the top of the world. They want to make sure that that is their strategy, not because they miss some kind of point and they miss some kind of idea to solve the problem. No, that's nonsense. That's not what they are doing. They are doing what they plan to do in the country. When they go in, they make sure they stabilize it. They make sure they are able to benefit from it. Their country stand on the top, and that's their plan. That's their agenda. And that's what they are doing, and that's what they're gonna keep doing. And we are looking, because now when you see the intervention that they are doing is not really giving them a good name in the world, so they have to find another way. And I guess if they are able to do it in Ethiopia, it's gonna take generations. It's gonna take generations for Africa to come back again.
That's very scary. Like, that's very scary. And you're right, my sister. That is very scary. It's gonna take generations to come back again, because right now they're hitting at the center, center of Africa, the symbol of independence of Africa, the headquarters of African Union, and hitting Ethiopia is hitting Africa. And that's why people, I don't understand when people, they're talking about, oh, you're talking about Ethiopia, we're talking about it. I'm talking about Africa. This is what we're talking about here. We are talking about Africa. That's the center, is the headquarters, is the roots of Pan-Africanism, Ethiopia. So hitting Ethiopia is hitting Africa. And all this sanction, all these videos we saw on BBC, we see all this in news, is threatening people that, okay, this is what is coming. You have to be prepared. You have to submit. Otherwise, this is coming to you. Sanction is the same thing. Okay, we sanction. So if they put sanction on Eritrea, other countries, they're gonna start being scared. Like what happened with with Zambia removing people. I don't want to judge them, but I'm just talking about the facts that are happening, right? You see other countries start, okay, we don't want to get this sanction because we see what happened in Zimbabwe, right? We don't want this to happen in our country. But this is the sign. This is the moment to say that, okay, now let's come together. Put your sanction on all entire continent of Africa, put in sanction on the whole continent. Let's come together. But it's hard. It's so hard to fight this battle when we're just alone, when we're just individual, when we have this individualistic mindset.
Yes.
It's so hard. And
what
happened right now?
This is what I want to say. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You didn't finish.
Oh, no. What I was just about to finish that.
Okay. So this is what I want to say.
There's only one solution to this. That there's only one solution to this. There's only one solution, guys. Only one solution, and we haven't been taking that way for a long time. The solution is unity. It's just coming together. That's the solution. Like the solution of this is that just that. Okay, yes, there's a risk, the sacrifice we need to make, but we need to unite.
Yes.
If you put sanction on Eritrea, put sanction in my country, put sanction in that country, put sanction in the whole Africa. I wish all African leaders come together and be like, okay, we are together in this. You're putting on them, put on me.
Yes.
His battle is my battle. Like, that's what we need, man. Anyways, guys, sister, I can go on.
I agree with you. I'm telling you, so what are we going to lose? And I want to use this word it was Trump who used it. I say when he was for the election, he went to the African American people and said, "What are you going to lose? You're already on the the last level of the last level of the economy system, right? So what are you going to lose if you pick me?" This is what he used for them, just to show them where they are. And the politics that the others are making is making money out of them. And I want to say this for my African brothers and sisters. They put sanction in Eritrea, they put sanction in Ethiopia, they put sanction in Tanzania, they put sanction in Zimbabwe. What are we going to lose? Are we living a higher standard that as a human being we deserve to live? No.
Yeah.
Are they giving us an opportunity already to strive? No.
Exactly.
They are giving us a crumb that were left over, and that crumbs doesn't even reach the right places. So for what are you scared for? I don't really think the solution in Africa is a war. I don't believe that. I don't believe it, and nobody can convince me otherwise. The solution in Ethiopia, no one will convince me by force. Part of Ethiopia will understand what it is, or the political system will agree with it by force. I don't believe that. I think there is a peaceful solution. I think tables and discussions will bring the solution, but no one should put their feet on the country. How dare them? They try to scare people.
If we survived, if we survived during colonialism, we can definitely and surely survive with sanctions.
Exactly.
We survived during colonialism. We did it. So this time, sanction. What is sanction? Somebody here commented, say that we Eritreans have been living with sanction for 15 years. Man, if we survived, yes, they survived and they're living. So if we survived during colonialism, we can survive right now with sanctions.
Exactly.
And I'm only saying this if the only reason why we're not united is sanction. Like we are scared that maybe because America, US, it has diplomatic relation with all African countries in Africa. And China, it has like 53 countries, except one, and I don't remember that country, but it has 53. So people like this country, that country, they're thinking about all this World Bank, about all this AIDS, about all these donations. This is just my thoughts. I'm thinking that that's what they're concerned about, that, okay, if we do this, this is what's going to happen. We can take an example and see what is going on right now in Ethiopia and all these sanctions that are happening. And we can take an example to see how brave Ethiopian people are, African people are standing and be like, you know what, we're going to keep fighting for this. You know what, we're going to be united as, you know, one ethnicity and another ethnicity. This is what we're seeking for until the end. We can see that, take that as an example and come to, because this is the way I see this issue is going to stop, is if Africa wakes up and unite. Africa, like African leaders, to know that, man, we didn't stand with Libya and it happened like the way it happened. Today it's happening with Ethiopia. Tomorrow it's going to happen with your country. Do you think you're going to be next?
Yes, you're going to be next.
You're going to be next. Look at how Congo is paralyzed. That country is paralyzed with what is happening there. Since the death of that president, it was, you know, Congo was Congo, I don't remember clearly, but since the death of their leader who was assassinated until today, it's paralyzed. Disease, you see, like what, Ebola, it happened. This COVID-19, it's happened. Disease after disease, war after war inside the country. It's that country, man, is the richest country in the world.
I want to bring the video you shared. Do you remember that the short clip you shared? The short clip you shared, saying we create a chaos in there and we capitalize with their chaos.
Yes.
That's what they did in Congo.
That's the movie. Man,
you remember that, right?
Sad.
That's what they did in Congo.
Oh, yes, Lumumba, yes, Lumumba, Patrick Lumumba, yes. Thank you so much, African. Yes, Patrick Lumumba. Man, that guy, he was killed.
He did.
Because of his speech. Because of his speech he gave, you know. And today, we are sitting here and we are seeing our brother, we're seeing what is happening, and then we're looking away as if it's none of our concern, thinking that we are doing okay. Man, we just colonized. If they're not coming after you, it's because
that is a colonization mind. They are not afraid to hide it. By the way, they don't hide it. And I don't believe it's only Americans. And I don't think it. Of course, America is upfront point of view. I'm upfront there. The PR of the people intention to do evil in the world. It's been a PR, and I don't believe like all Americans are in the same wagon that this system is going. But I really think there is a real intention, and that the idea of colonialism, the idea of slavery, the idea of somebody else is better than somebody else affects the political system of this world still, and trying to drag that idea to continue. So any place, any country, try to break that route has to be diminished. Has to be destabilized, because that idea has to continue to keep certain part of the people in the world in a position. And that is why we have to see it beyond that, beyond our like little emotion. We are human beings. It's very hard to control your emotion. Like today, I was so upset earlier, and I sit down and think about it. I try to see certain things and say, okay, this is where it's going. And so I come back. I kind of come down from it and to try to see the solution. Try to see what is that we have to do. Okay, I'm an Ethiopian. As an Ethiopian, they're trying to talk to me, and I look back myself and I say, then about 20% of the people in Addis died to defend the freedom of and when it was a colonial time. Do you remember the Nazi was የካቲት 12? Do you know that will happen if America tried to do that? They won't stop. They won't stop fighting. That's on their blood. That's on their blood. They won't bow down. And people will sacrifice too much for the agenda that whether it's America or her allies that try to achieve when they cannot be succeeded. They will not succeed. I'm telling you, they will not succeed in making them bow down. That's kind of impossible. I don't know if you know the verse that, like, I don't know how to say it in English. It's very hard. It's like
say it in your language.
Okay. Maybe the viewers may change it. It's a phrase in the Bible. I think it's in Isaiah. I'm not sure. It says like this. ነብር ዥንጉርጉርነቱን ኢትዮጵያዊነቱን ሊለቅ ይችላል እያለ ይጠይቃል። It's like
I like that.
Yeah, leopard. They have dots, right? They have dots, and the Ethiopians are like the character of Ethiopians or their difference. Like, is it possible to change it? It's talking about, like, it's impossible to change these things, and it's in their blood, not because they want to be. We are Africans. We are human beings. I cannot even say Africans or Ethiopians. We are human beings. We are made at the image of God. We are made free to think free, to make. To decide freely, to live freely, to choose freely. It is a very hard thing for someone else to say, I am going to make your decision because I have power. So believe me, on the day of Adowa, the Italians' power, they have all the powerful machines and the support of the world. With them. Now they might say, oh, the system, now we are too strong, like, we are too modernized, we have this and that. It doesn't matter. Any technology is not greater than a human being. Human being heart, human being minds are greater. And they will endure any challenge, it will succeed and do what its mind said to it. And freedom is not something you compromise for. And not again that they did what they did in Libya, not again what they did in Congo, not again what they did at the whole continent. There are some people with the intention, if it is impossible, they will continue the slave trade. It is true. Right? It's not something that we can hide on it or cover it up. It is true. There are people who have intention. If it is possible to continue the slave trade, they will continue it. But because they are not able to do it, they will go behind it and try to create a chaos. They go behind it and to make a point of saying, oh, this person is doing that, this person is doing that, and try to make it they are good guys supporting, right? And sorry, America, we know what it is going on. Sorry, you people, we know what is going on, and we know our people, and we love and respect our people, and we have a mindset. We know how to solve our problem. You don't need to get into it. If you want to get into it with our will. We only bow down for the people we choose to. For the people we choose, and for the people we love, for the people we respect. We only bow down with our free will. No one will force, no one will show their strengths to make us bow down. That's impossible. Like you are trying to make something impossible in the continent. I'm sorry if you don't like it. But this is the truth. I'm sorry if you want us to sing your song, but this is the truth. We cannot sing your song. We are free people, and we make our own decision. We cannot sing your song. We sing our own song. We have our rhythm. We are our rhythm of freedom. We have our rhythm of politics. We have our rhythm of economy. We have our rhythm of making decisions. And we are. I really think the AU is in a better position. AU is in a better policy. I don't know if it is a better policy, but in a better position, and the right institution to intervene. I think AU is able to help out, to mitigate things, whether it is here in the Ethiopia or in other part of Africa. That AU is in a better position, and I think we can come together and talk about it, like how can we strengthen our AU, how can we strengthen the policies and the visions that AU have, and try to work together to help out, because we want to help out our continent, right? Anyway, I talked too much today. Mika, I talked too much today.
I appreciate. So what I did is this. I share the link, WhatsApp group. This is different WhatsApp group. It will be for everybody. So I share the link, and you guys, the link is in the comment section. If you want to join the One Africa Forum WhatsApp group, this is the second one that it will have everybody, to you guys to share to whatever. I share the link. Please go through the link. And I mean, people, they already started to call right now. Please, I mean, guys, I'm doing live stream, right? So yeah, and people they have already joined. Like they're already joining here. A lot of
because
people.
This is real thing. Like this is real thing that is affecting the whole continent. You remember I text you something saying this is not defending Ethiopia. This is not defending Africa. Actually, this is defending the people of the world. To say no, you cannot colonize us again. I don't think we are past. I don't think we are on the stage of neo-colonization. I don't think so. I think we are passing. We are going to the third stage, and we didn't see it. I'm telling you, we didn't see it because if you see the idea of neo-colonialism in just using the economic power and to impose their idea on people, right? It wasn't forcing them to how do I put it? It wasn't forcing them by weapon. It was economically idea sanction and saying, okay, if you don't do this for me, I don't do this for you, and it was like that. Now we passed that already. If they will come with the neo-colonialism idea and they will tell you, okay, you do this for me, I do this for you. And if you don't do this for me, I'm going to force you. And they will try that. And people start saying, countries start to saying, yeah, don't do it for me. Don't help me out. Okay, sanction me. Okay, fine. I don't want to talk to you. Fine. Take your embassy and get out from my country. I'm going to survive. My people will survive. Now, because countries start coming to that level, now they start bringing a war.
Yeah.
Now they bring back the old idea of colonization. This is the third term now for colonialism idea. This is the third term because their sanction, their economic and political influence, and everything that the connection that they're trying to do is not working. Now they have to bring back the old idea of, if you don't say what I told you, I will show you my strength. And that's where we are. That's why
it's crazy.
Libya was destabilized. That's why Afghanistan was destabilized. Of course, Afghanistan, they fight what they fight and they won, even though they paid the longer price for 20 years, right? And it's amazing. It's really amazing.
It's crazy that you have to use strength, you have to use power, you have to use sanction to to portray or to share what you want to say, like you have, because you are in a position of power. By the way, guys, this what you see here, it's One Africa YouTube. I'm sharing here with you. Please go and stay in touch with that. Subscribe. I'm sharing this because just in case anything happens to this YouTube, we are praying nothing will happen. All right, to Swahili Nation YouTube, nothing will happen to Swahili Nation. We are praying, we are praying, we are praying. But stay connected with this One Africa, because even this live stream we are doing, eventually we'll be doing in One Africa. But I'm just waiting for you guys to stay connected there, because a lot of people, they are not aware that this channel actually exists. So please go and subscribe and stay connected with that, because we'll move to that channel in live stream. And just in case if anything happened with this, we'll go there. And also want to appreciate for the super chat, for you guys what you're giving. I appreciate so much for your Hannes Hagos. This means a lot for your super chat. You're helping us to operate. And now I just want to shout out their names before we continue, because I think this is very Sar. No, it is not Sar. I cannot mention this name, but I appreciate for that. And this name as well, right here, I appreciate, for you as well. And my brother here, I've seen you a lot of time giving. I appreciate for the super chat. And Chala Gemechu, I appreciate for the super chat as well. And who else? I just want to acknowledge these people. Asta Gizao, I appreciate for the super chat as well. All right. I think that's it. Okay.
Okay. Yes, I want to say thank you too. Like I want to say thank you to our viewers for joining, and also for showing concern and for voicing up by supporting the program. Right. This is how This is how we show who we are. This is how we show that where we stand. This is how we show that we as an Africans are able to do so. We as an Africans can say no for the ideas of any outsiders to push us to the limit that we don't want to go. Right? They are pushing us. they are pushing us, and we want peace. We don't want to fight with you. We don't want to fight with anyone, whether they have a power or they don't have a power. We are peaceful people. We like to do whatever things that we choose to do. We make the decisions the way we want to make a decision, not the way you want us to make a decision, not the way you want us to live for. You don't know. You don't know what we want. You don't now have our culture. You don't have our history. You don't have our mindset. We survived for thousands of years, so I think we will survive again. And if it is a time for us to tell you that, and you say get off our country, put your hands off our country, and you need to deal your own problem, then let it be. That's what we are doing. That you are not helping on the challenges that we are facing. You are putting a gas on the fire and making it burn more. You are not putting water to destroy the fire. You are not mitigating to bring a solution. You are putting a fire, and I don't think the Ethiopian people will have a fear in their heart. Like that's who they are. And if you sanction something or you stop your support, we know how to be hungry. In case you don't know, we Africans know to stay 3 days without food. We know, we walk through it because of what you did, actually, not because we are poor, just to be clear, because of your system that you put, and because of your exploiting our economies, our resources, and our peace, our system, our coexistence as a continent. You exploit it. And you put wrong ideas in different people, and you lied. And your lies are the ones that are making us pay. And now you want to put another one, the third colon. No, you're not going to colonize us. It doesn't happen. It didn't happen. First, the first time when we happened, we were in the very wrong places to support each other, because we didn't know you were coming. We didn't know your intention. We are good people as an Africans. We are a community people. We love people. We accept people. We think everybody is there to help out somebody, because that's how people are made. Actually, we're supposed to help out each other. We are made in the image of God, so we know our heart is good all the time. And Africans are like that. At every part you go, they have this good heart to help out. If they are a stranger, the first thing that comes in their mind is not exploiting you. It's helping you out, being there, being friend. That's who we are. That's who we are as Ethiopians too. That's who we are, as we are made by God, right? We're the image of God, not to exploit something, not to hurt. And we didn't come to you. And if you have a problem, if we are fighting each other, we have a Father who can handle it. That's called God. He know how to handle it, and he doesn't need your hand to solve it. He doesn't need you to come into and solve it. He know how to talk to his children and say, okay, you are doing this, you are doing that, and stop. And they will listen. The people of Africa know how to listen their God. The people of Africa know how to answer for their God. You don't need to be in between. Go ahead, Mika. I'm talking too much today. Go ahead.
No, no, you're not talking too much. You're passionate. You're passionate about this. I wanna share the link in the section as well. If there's anyone there who wants to come and to share, this is your place, and you can raise your voice. You're welcome to share. And for those who are commenting in this comment section as well, our focus is love, peace, and unity. Right? That's our message, and that's what we want for Africa. So I know everything that is going on is frustrating right now, and it's very how can I say, it's just frustrating. So but at the same time, let's try to think about how we present ourselves as we are continuing to discuss about this, because otherwise we'll get into trouble. The other day I spoke about all inappropriate comments. Actually, YouTube themselves, they hide them even before I say it, because it's already automatically I said like that, so it's hiding it. But also it might bring a little bit trouble to the Swahili Nation channel. So let's try to have a conversation and talk and put our passion in words as well. So I'm going to share this link, and feel free to come. And since a lot of people might come, just make sure that when you come, you also take you don't take a lot of time to share it. I'm actually doing this live stream because one reason is because of my sister Netsi here. That's why I'm doing this right now. And that's why we've been talking for a little while. So feel free if you want to come and say something you want to say respectfully. Yeah, my brother here, our moderator, Sadeke, he's mentioning as well. So let's just try to do that, because we Africans, we are smart, we are brave. All right, we don't need to put sanction on anyone else, but we can have conversation and share our passion. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. And that's why the tagline of One Africa is a conversation for a better tomorrow, for a better future. You're having step towards change. One day we'll be able to have this meeting in your cities and talk together right there. But right now we are starting to do right here. And by inviting everybody to come and to be one, to be united. We need that. We need that for our continent. We need that, man, because without that, guys, we cannot overcome. I appreciate Engda for the super chat as well. All right, we have a guest here. My sister, you stay right there.
Okay.
Abdi.
Yes, sir.
Abdi, welcome to the family.
Thank you, brother.
Can you hear me, Abdi?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
I can hear him.
Hello.
Hi, Abdu.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, good. Can I introduce myself?
Yes.
Yes, please go ahead. Sister, carry on. I'll be back for a while.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead. Introduce yourself.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm Abdi, and I am Somali from Ethiopia, Jijiga.
Okay.
And I live in Sweden. So I'm not into politics, but I know what I want, which is Abiy Ahmed and Asiya Safawerk, Farmajo, and those who want peace and democracy. That's what I want. So I think my age is not in big. I'm not old enough to analyze what TPLF did in the past, but I have read, the history, what they did to East Africa, not only Ethiopia, not only Eritrea, not only Somalia, but in the Horn of Africa. So for now, all they are looking for is the same thing, to take the power, and they are being used by the West, and that's clear. That's why the U.S. U.S. government are trying to come into Ethiopia and to send their army, which we are not welcoming. They are not welcome into Ethiopia. The USA is not welcome. They are not needed. We don't need them. We don't need to have USA. We don't need to have China. We don't need Turkey. We don't need Russia. We don't need anyone. And I think I am not sure whether those who are fighting against TPLF are honest. I don't think they are honest. I don't think they are willing to die for Ethiopia. I feel like why? No, it's for me. I think it's easy for me right now, living in Europe, to say, why am I not in the position to fight? The privilege to have the chance to stop someone who is going to destroy my country. I would be glad to face them. You know what I mean? And I'm not even saying I'm brave. I'm better than our army. No, I wish I had the opportunity to face them. And I think if we stand together, we don't even need Eritrean army to help us to stop TPLF. Ethiopia is more than 100 million people. We just want 50,000 honest army, who have equipment, all food, the moral, passion, that want to die from the earth. TPLF is not. You can see girls, the Sly Queens are fighting against our army, and you are telling me they are winning. I'm not gonna buy that. And at the end of the day, Tigray people are our people. The evil is TPLF and the ideology, which is from the West. But Tigray, I don't hate Tigray. My best friend here in Sweden is actually from Mekelle. My brother went to Mekelle University. He's a master holder, working in Jijiga, University of Jijiga. So I don't hate Tigray people. I never hate people, but I hate evil. I hate evil and their ideologies. I hate evil, and that's what TPLF is. You know what I mean? I'm very sorry, but TPLF is an evil in the Horn of Africa, and that's my opinion, by the way. But there are Tigray people. Even my friend here in Sweden, he's the biggest fan. He's the biggest supporter of TPLF, and we don't agree on each other. When we are drinking coffee together, we don't agree on politics. My friend, who is from Jijiga as well, we don't agree on each other. He supports the Somali state in Ethiopia, but I don't like how they manage things, and because I feel like, as a Somali person, we have the biggest land in terms of Ethiopia in Ethiopia. If you see the map, the Somali kingdom is the biggest in terms of geographically, and we are the third, and we are the third biggest nation in the country. which is behind just
the largest one.
Of course, we are just behind Oromo and Amara. So we are around 10 million. No one even counts us because we are mostly in the rural areas, you know. So, but in terms of the government, or you know, the federal government, we are the 10th, if not even lower, most powerful, you know, kill or region in the country. So I feel like we don't get our rights in the, you know, in the federal government. So I feel like Mustafa Umar is not doing his best to you know, to represent my people. But at the end of the day, Ethiopia as one, with working with Eritrea, working with Farmajo, working with Uhuru Kenyatta, and even, you know, Yoweri Museveni. I don't care. People say, he's a dictator. He's a dictator. Who cares, bro? Who cares? He's the man. He's the man. He's working with the youth. He's like, we never had freedom of speech. If Meles and I was in church right now, I wouldn't be. We even couldn't have this conversation, because like, I live in Sweden, I'm free, he can do nothing for, you know, to me, but my brother who is in Jijiga would be in jail tomorrow. So that's the biggest point. You have to see, you have to balance, you know, what's possible, what can we get done, where do we go from here, you know. You have to be thankful sometimes. So we shouldn't only be demanders. We don't. If you just demand, Abiy is like this, he just came to the office, give him a chance.
Yes.
You see, yeah, he's done much more than Meles and I we did for the last, you know, 27 years and so. You see, Addis Ababa, you have trams.
I wanna.
Yeah, go on, bro. Go on.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Good morning.
What I want to say. Yeah, I can hear you. But what I want to say is, I want us to specifically focus on peace, because that's what we want, and that is what the best, you know, for Africa. So let's try to really focus on that, because everything else is like, you know, it's a lot of people, you know, will die, and innocent people, and those are people who are always affected when things like this, you know, end up in a war and things like this. So my wish and my hope is that, you know, we focus on peace, because it's achievable. And when we come together, Africans, we stand together, we are not even gonna go into war with anybody, because united will be much stronger than how we are right now. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be a threat. Our weapon is unity. And that is our gun, that is our bombs, and that is our weapon. Unity is our weapon as Africa. So I want us to try to focus on that, bro.
Okay.
But I really appreciate your insight.
Good morning.
Thank you. Can I comment something?
Good morning, good morning. Since I'm here, let me say something.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, it's a good morning over here. I don't know for you guys.
My brother.
Good morning.
Good morning. Swahili Nation, I really appreciate for bringing this good topic, really creating this as an important topic. This is a time Africa can actually wake up and unite as one. The thing is, we divide, we fail. What is happening in Africa is right now is it is really neocolonialism is coming back. They just want to take the continent one by one. I mean, today is Ethiopia, maybe tomorrow the rest of African countries. So the way we defeat this one, we have to wake up and unite as a one and protect the African interest.
Oh, can you hear me, Ahmed?
Yeah, I hear you, but I think the brother.
I think our brother left. I think until he come back. Let's hope he's coming. He's gonna come back. Okay, good, very good.
Sorry, I was something happened to my connection. I don't know what happened.
I think my brother is back.
Yes, he did.
So we must unite. I think you put it well a while ago when I was listening to you. Our unity is our strength, really, as African. If we divide, we fail. So basically, the war we are seeing in Ethiopia right now is basically somebody's actually fighting that war for somebody. The biggest power is behind their war, basically. They're giving them satellite information, all that, just weaken the country. And basically, they want a puppet government that work for them. As far as freedom goes, they don't care really about African people. What they need from Africa is a weak government, so they can extract the natural resources the way they want to. So the African has to rise and protect the natural resource. All the time, any government that's trying to work for the people, either they're gonna put a sanction on that government or they take out that government. We have seen it many, many times. Libya is one example. Zimbabwe was one example. They put a sanction and they weakened the country for a long time because the former president, he was trying to basically help his own people and trying to take a land from the white people, give it to the black farmers, basically, which is really a fair thing to do. But what they did, they put a sanction on him. They weakened Zimbabwe, as we know. And in the past, these days, social media, the media is actually helping young Africans to communicate and voice their concern in what's going on in their country. In the past, we didn't have that. Any leaders that work for Africa, either they will assassinate him or they take him down. One example is that happened in Ghana. Also, I think in Burkina Faso happened that way. So our strength is just like he said, is our unity. We must unite and defend the continent, really. They always divide us, based on our ethnicity or religion. And we have to overcome that. Unless we overcome that, our problem will continue. We will suffer. So Africa must unite. So my message is more than anything, like you said, I think unity is number one. So we have to work on peace. We have to really minimize our difference and be united as one. And in that way, we can defend, we can protect the continent and the natural resource Africa has. Really, Africa doesn't need anything from any country, really. If we work together, if we put our resource together, we have enough educated people, we have enough resources, we have everything, but we just don't have like a real government that unite all the people, the young people, put it to work and, working for the continent. So like I said, I think unity is our number one tool that we have to use it. So thank you for bringing this attention. I think creating this channel is very important for all young Africans. So please keep doing it. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I say something now? Let me add some. Okay, let me add some point. The first point I want to say is about when we talk about TPLF and what happened. I want to make a point. I'm not taking a side for anybody. I just want to make a point that just because sometimes when we take a side and we say this is that, it's kind of blinding us because we want to speak to the point of view of our side. We don't want to speak to the point of view of, okay, what is the other person is trying to see or trying to say or trying to defend, right?
I really appreciate.
So go
ahead.
I want to see things African perspective. I want to see things as a person who wants to see peace. I know peace is not going to be achievable for everybody. We are living in this world that there are people who are so greedy. They want everything for themselves, and I understand that's not easy. But I really think it is. We can work towards it, And
That's
especially as an Africans, we should see things beside taking sides. We should see things beside beside being emotional. We can see things beside the status quo that the others put on us. Like somebody was commenting saying, oh, go to school. It is a complex situation in Africa. You could just talk about one Africa, and you don't know nothing about, what you're talking about. And I just want to say that for
I got that a lot.
Oh?
I got that a lot.
Yeah, I just want to say to that brother, which school you want us to go? Like I just right, which school you want us to go?
We're in Swahili Nation School right now.
That is true.
Tuko shule.
Because it's not complicated. They want to make it complicated stuff. They want to preach us that you cannot do it. It's too much. Yeah. They've been preaching us for the past 50 years, and now we know, no, you're wrong. Actually, it is achievable.
It is.
The schools that we passed through, the life that we passed through, the event that happened in Africa taught us that actually it is possible. It is possible to unite the continent. It is possible to work together with the differences we have. We can respect each other and have certain limitation for each country and work together, especially if we are able to work together educational wise. If we work together like African-based education, right? If we work together economically, if we have a trade system that is placed in the continent, not because we don't know the infrastructure is not there, my brother or sisters there saying United Africa doesn't, it's impossible. We know the infrastructure are not set, but if we don't set our mind to it, we are not going to work towards that. To set the infrastructure, we're not going to work to set the political and legal system that protect Africans from moving from South Africa to North Africa, from East Africa to West Africa, so they are able to study their businesses. They are able to implement their strategies for their brothers and sisters in Africa. I think those are the things that we talk about when we talk about unity, when we talk about peace, when we talk about we are able to do things better without the interference of outside, right? And the interference from the outside continent, from the outside, it teach us and it's showing us that it is only for the benefit of who? For the benefit of themselves, right? We see Africa is not going at the way it should go. It's not going at the way, at the pace that Africa is able to go, to grow, to be sustainable. And that's what we want. That's what we talk about when we talk about One Africa. That's what we talk about. It is us who start to say it is achievable, who start believing it's achievable. Then it is us who start placing the infrastructures in the systems as a people, as a politicians, as that we work together to come to that level. We work together to bring that. Otherwise, it didn't work before, and that's what you see. What did we learn in our history? If we are working with the same mentality, with the same mind, then it's going to have the same result. Fight hunger, revolution hunger, fight hunger. And give me a second.
All right. Yeah, let me say this. And then I'll give you a chance, Abdi, to speak as well. Somebody said here in the comment section, the only solution to get rid of the external pressures for Africa is getting united and defend together. Every country in Africa is under pressure or under neocolonialism. That's like 100%. I agree with you. 100%. I agree with you. And I saw another comment here, very short, but it's very powerful. It says, you are missing a Red Sea youth. It says, you are missing long-term goal with short-term needs. This is so profound statement. And this is what we were talking about the other day, about, if you remember, Sister Netsi, about having vision for Africa. What we are talking about here right now today, it's about a vision for Africa. It's a long-term vision. It's what will last forever. We are preparing Africa for our kids, you know, for our future children, and for the people of Africa, for the economy of Africa, and for so many reasons of Africa. That's what we are discussing here, and that's what we are talking about unity. So as we continue to share, and you guys, as you're coming and joining here in the live stream, let's continue to remember that. And before I let you speak, I also want to remind you guys that stay connected with One Africa channel, again, because this movement is going to continue to be there. If you're wondering where it is, if you go all the way to the Swahili nation, you'll see the channel right here, One Africa, this one. So stay connected with that, you know, just in case if anything happens to this channel, stay connected with that. We'll continue to have conversation in that channel in the near future about Africa, about One Africa. Stay connected with that. All right. Sister, you didn't finish, right? Or you finished already?
No, I almost finished. I just want to point that out, and we it's not about taking sides. I understand people can take sides. That's our freedom, right? That's one thing that we do. We have a mind. We make our decisions. We see what we support and we speak it to it. But so I respect that. And speaking it out, your support, by the way. But here, as One Africans, we may not even have this. We may not have to agree with everything. We are speaking as an Africans, and we see it from the perspective of Africans' point, our Africans, brother and sister, and our generations, and see it, trying to put the platform that we are able to do. Thank you for taking me in today, and I know I talk too much today. I understand, but guys, we need to we need to speak. We need to see. We need to see what it is, and call it as it is, right? And when that's why I'm here with you guys. And Mika is here with you guys. And thank you, Mika, for standing for Africa, for standing for your brothers and sisters. And I hope our other brothers and sisters will join in to stand. And we will bring another topic for about another country, and we will discuss about it too. We want to stand with them too when it is not the right decision that others make. We say, no, they're our brother and sister, and you shouldn't do that. Even though I have my own struggle, I still stand for my other brother too, right? And thank you for thank you. I'm just gonna leave right now with you. I hope I will continue watching you and listen to this live show. And thank you for joining us, Ahmed.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Yeah,
thank you, sister.
Bro.
Abdi,
yeah, bro. Thank you again, bro. I usually see your comments on, you know, some songs, Somali songs. You say this is a banger when, like King Jama and Sultan Serar, the latest hit, and then I said like I appreciate it, and nasikia Swahili pia. So when I see Swahili Nation, I was like, okay, yani poa sana. So I was saying like. My sister was talking about I think our to work with our leaders, and I think that's you know, that's a good point. I think our society as Africans, we sometimes we don't know what, you know, whether we have rights or not. We don't know our you know, basic rights, which is to talk freely, to choose whoever you want freely, and sometimes we don't have it. You know, we don't have a choice, because, you know, the choice comes when you have enough economy in terms of your basic needs, or you know, even paying rents, and we are talking about food, That's how poor we are in Africa. So people are, people are suffering. They take money, very little money, like as low as $1, $2, to vote for a guy who is already, a mercenary, who's sent by by someone, that whether it's the Emirates or Qatar, or those small countries, deserts, are the guys who are dominating Africa these days. Not even China, not even the US, but UAE and Qatar, and sometimes we don't understand. Like, for me, I think the biggest problem in Africa is tribe. We divide us into different tribes. Tribe is number one. Number two is faith, religion. Those two are our biggest problem. And then the third is corruption. But people think, they see the corruption more than our biggest problems, which are, tribe and what we believe in. What you believe in is something that's between you and God, and as a person, not even your dad or your brother, your sister is going to help you when you die. You're gonna stand in front of God by yourself. So don't judge someone because of their believing this, believing that. I am from Ethiopia, and Ethiopia, we have different ethnicities and different religions. We drink coffee together. We are friends. We were neighbors. We went to the same school. We never had an issue. Like, we have church, we have mosques, we have we play football together. Happy together. So work together. But at the end of the day, when those politicians are going to divide us, that's what they are going to use. That's their platform, and the clan is their biggest platform as well. So when you are going to vote for someone, I know the politics of Kenya a lot. So the biggest two, I think, parts are from Kikuyu and Jedu. So those they dominate. Uhuru and Baba. I don't remember his name right now. So their supporters or fans are based on their clans, and then they may kill each other because of these guys from this clan and this guy from this clan. They choose this guy. He's a corrupt. They know that he's corrupt. They know that he's never gonna do something for them, for the youth. Like, they're jobless. You see, in Europe, you don't see youth sitting on the streets talking about football. They don't even watch football here in Europe. You see those Premier League teams. Chelsea, I support Chelsea. I'm a Chelsea fan. They were here in Sweden.
Oh, I'm not.
Yeah, bro. I didn't have a time for Chelsea. I used to love Chelsea. I didn't miss a Chelsea game when I was in Africa. I was sitting in front of the TV all day long, waiting for to see Didier Drogba and Frank Lampard. But right now, when they came to Sweden, I could drive like 3 hours from here, not even 3 hours, 2.5, and see live. But I didn't give I didn't even give a time, because that's how it is here. You have a work, you have other things to do. You are busy with something which is good for your life. And that's a system made by the government. That's a system that they use, the youth not to, do drugs, do bad things, not to, maybe kill each other, or, So everyone here is busy with something productive. Like, I usually hear The Rock says, "I wish you have a productive day," like, which is a very good point. So in Africa, you see youth playing football outside because they don't have it's a Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, like they are school dropouts. There's no job, there's no opportunity, there's no job creation. Those big investors or Africans who are rich, who are living up, you know, in the diaspora, where it's US or Arab countries or here in Europe, they need to go back. And there are multiple, uncountable opportunities. There's real estate opportunities. There's, you know, manufacturers. There's agriculture.
Right.
Everything. Yeah, in every sector in Africa. It's like when you take Somalia as an example.
Please try to wrap up as well, because I'll be leaving soon.
Yeah, but like Somalia, for example, I'll give you, if those who are watching us are one of those guys who have, you know, we don't even give them a high number. Like $200,000 make you a millionaire in less than a year in Somalia. $200,000. If you have today $200,000, I'll give you a tip. You buy. You know, we all know Somalia is a tourist haven. Everybody knows that. Where it's weather, those beautiful beaches, where it's Kismayo, where it's Mogadishu, where it's Bosaso, where it's Berbera, where it's wherever it is. So you buy 5 beautiful boats, and each boat is gonna cost you around 20,000, 25,000 maximum. So those boats are like luxurious yachts, you know, not a big yachts, but smaller, you know. So you get those boats in India, which is very, very cheap. You rent them on a daily basis, you know, where they eat that if they want in the sea, you know. So that makes you rich. It's a very small tip, and it's one of the easiest way to be, you know, to be living in a luxurious life in your home country in Africa or in Somalia. So they don't understand the opportunities that they have in their own country. So we don't believe in our countries, because we were told that in Europe there's these, in US there's these, everything is in our homeland. So the idea that we were told, oh, these are Al-Shabaab, fuck Al-Shabaab, bro, Al-Shabaab is. I'm telling you right now, if I take with some friends, I can defeat Al-Shabaab. They are not even. They are the most overrated terrorist group out there. They have no power, bro. The only thing is the government is corrupt. They work with them. They don't want to defeat them. They just watch and eat together. Simple as that. So the youth should stand together. They have to think twice before they vote for someone. They have to investigate for their records. Who's this person? I don't care which clan. I don't care which city he's from. What's his record? Like, what has he done? What's his you know, how does his, you know, CV looks like? You know.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Abdi, I appreciate for your insight, man. I'm not gonna stay here for long. I'm gonna be coming back. Somebody asked here and say that you should do live often. Man, we are doing live every single day. So if you're here right now and you don't know that, now you know. We're doing live stream every single day at 9 p.m. East African time. So join us at 9 p.m. because we'll be coming back later on to talk about, you know, a lot of stuff, talk about education, the current situation in Africa. So you guys, you can join us at 9 p.m. East African time. But for now, I will let you, Abdi, go, and then I will wrap up the session. Abdi, I really appreciate for your insight.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Have a nice one.
All right.
Bye, bro.
Quiet. All right, guys. So, you know, this has been a very productive moment of us talking about the fate of Africa and where we want to be. I will say this again. War, violence is not an answer. Unity is a weapon. It's a weapon. Let me tell you this, guys. I don't know. I'm not talking something that is out there. I'm talking something that is right here. All right. For how long we have been fighting with one another? How many years? How many years in Africa we have been fighting with one another? How many times we've been having civil wars here and there? How many times? Right now, I can name the countries, a lot of countries in Africa having the same issue. So we've been having that for years. But why can't you wake up? Like, we have to wake up, Africa. We have been having these wars every time, but where did it bring us? As a result, we're still here. As a result, we're still crippled. As a result, we're still paralyzed. We're still asking for aids. We're still asking for donors. We cannot even trust one another in Africa, but we trust somebody else outside of the continent who comes and take things away from our continent. I'll always give an example of Congo, the richest country in the world, still yet the poorest country in Africa. They're fighting with one another. Nigeria, they're fighting with one another. Ethiopia. Look at what is happening in Sudan, crisis in Sudan. Tunisia, Mali, Burkina Faso, Eswatini. In South Africa, this group of people, they want to have their own country in South Africa right now. Where fight wars and killing one another, where it's going to bring us. We have to wake up, guys. We have to wake up. The solution is unity. We've never achieved that yet. For many years, our forefathers, the founders of these nation, of this continent, have always been talking about unity. And I'll share with you guys the picture, because this is the profile picture of my Twitter. And you can join guys' conversation right there. All right. I'll share. Let me share with you here. This is, it's priceless. The billion and billions of dollar picture right here. All right. Let me share with you guys. Let me show you right here, so that you may understand what I'm talking about. Okay. Look at this. And some of them are not here, but our forefathers, they fought for this continent to be where it is right now. They fought for independence. They sacrificed their lives. Patrick Lumumba, he was assassinated. So many other leaders, they were assassinated. Even the recent leaders like this guy, what is his name? The guy who said, whoever feeds you controls you. Sankara. Look at these leaders right here. Look at this picture. Where are the leaders of Africa today? I don't want to keep sharing the old pictures here. I want to share the new picture of African leaders standing together like this in unity. I want to share that. But where is that picture? Where is that picture, guys? Where is that picture? Where are the leaders, today's leaders? I'm not saying these guys were perfect. These guys, they had their own faults. They had their own weaknesses. They had their own mistakes. They made their own, but they brought us independence in Africa. Look at this picture. Where are the new picture? I want the colored picture. So that's what I'm saying. War is not an answer. Violence is not an answer, because it's never going to bring us to the place where we want to be. You know, war, if you win war, that means you're a winner. But in the long term, you're not winning. It's just a short term. Those people that you won against, they will unite themselves. They will plan another attack. One day in the future, whether it's 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, they will come back to pay back for what you have done to them. That's what wars does. That's why I'm saying this, that, man, we've never taken a way of unity. We've never had that unity yet in Africa. That's why you can see, like, there's so many traitors in Africa. So many traitors. Why we cannot unite? Unity is the only answer. You're talking about, okay, all the issues. Somebody mentioned here in the comment section that unity is not important. We need to get rid of corruption first. Man, nobody has been able to get rid of corruption. No one. Corruption is everywhere. But it doesn't mean that we cannot stop. It doesn't mean that we cannot reduce corruption. But when we have unity, we always say this, when we have unity, we have one African Union. We have African Union. We have one Africa. These leaders will be accountable to the table of one Africa. the table of United Africa, the table of African Union. They will be accountable. They'll have to report. Right now, your president, my president, whatever, they don't have to report anywhere because he's the most powerful man in the country. She's the most powerful woman in the country. But when we have African Union, you have a place to report. So even our African case, they're not going to be dealt by International Court of Justice, but they're going to be dealt within Africa, in our African Union. Let's just pray hard that even in African Union, there will not be corruption, because that's very important. My brother here, Abdi, he spoke about 3 problems that we're facing: ethnicity, religion, and corruption. That's why we're having here One Africa Forum. This is the big problem. If you join us at 9 p.m. East African time, we are going through this series called Push. Push, it means pray until something happens. You know what we've been doing for past 11 days? We've been meeting here, Christians, Muslims, people who they don't believe in anything, pray together. We've been praying for Africa. We've been praying for Ethiopia. We've been praying for Sudan, because we believe prayer can change everything. We believe in God. I believe in God, man. I do believe. And I'm not going to exclude God in my platform. Forget about that. I'm not. I believe in God. And we Africans believe in God, regardless of our religion. You believe in whatever that you believe. But we agree in one thing, that sometimes we need to hold our hands and pray, because we can fight this battle with our mind, but we can never win. When we ask God, I'm telling you, with God, everything is possible. Whatever that is impossible with men is possible with God. I believe that with everything I have in my heart. And I believe even the situation that is going on right now in Ethiopia, God can change it just in a blink of an eye. He can change it. But if we come together, we leave aside our differences, because we all believe in one thing, and we believe in Almighty God. And things can change. We talk, we discuss, we make strategy, and we pray together. It's beautiful, man. We have been praying here with our brothers and sisters, with Muslim brothers and sisters, and Christian brothers and sisters. Man, it has been beautiful. It has been beautiful seeing all of us coming together and praying with one accord that God save Africa. And that's what I invite you guys to come and to do that. In 9 p.m. East African time, we'll have a panel here. I have an amazing team in One Africa Forum. My team is always doing amazing. Yesterday, I was not able to join, but my team carried on. Man, like it's an amazing team. It's a representative of different people. We have people from Ethiopia. We have a member from South Africa. We have a member from Gambia. We have a member from Tanzania. We have a member from everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And I wish so many countries would be involved. We'll have a member from your country and everywhere to come and to discuss about the fate of Africa. And I want to remind you again, this is not just about Ethiopia. What we are doing here is for Africa. It's for Africa. And Africa must unite. Let's use that way. I'll tell you, you'll see all other things are secondary. We'll deal with them. But first thing first is unity. And right now, we are in the midst of getting a breakthrough right now. This is the moment. If we don't unite now, man, we are done. We are done. We are done. But I'll say this, man. Our brothers and sisters in Ethiopia, I know you're going through a difficult time right now. Even if because United Africa, talk about United Africa, it might take some time. Even if it's not going to happen today. But I hope and I pray that you guys, you'll be one, you'll be united. Tigrayan, Amhara, Oromo, all this different ethnicity, I pray that you guys will be united, you'll be one. I pray for that. You can be proud of your ethnicity, you can be proud of your language, of your culture, but just remember that somebody who is coming from different tribe, different religion is not your enemy. That's your brother. I'm your brother. You're my brothers and sisters. I pray for that. I pray for Eritrea. I pray for Somalia. I pray for Kenya, for Tanzania, for Uganda, for Rwanda, Burundi. And by the way, shout out to Kenya for standing with Ethiopia right now. Shout out to them. Shout out to them, man. Shout out to Kenyatta for standing with Ethiopia. Shout out to every country that is standing with Ethiopia right now openly. Shout out to them. Shout out to them. And also, I encourage you guys that some other people might not say anything. Might not say anything. But don't fool yourself that they're not standing with you. There are people who cannot come and talk like the way I talk. There are people who they just stay there behind the scene and they pray day and night for Ethiopia. My parents, my dad, my mom, they're praying for Ethiopia because I told them what's going on. And there's so many other people there, they're praying for Ethiopia. And even these things that are happening right now, tension between Ethiopia and US, there are a lot of Americans that are standing with Ethiopia. So don't mistake about the government situation and people in that country. That's why I say hatred, it's not our language. We cannot keep entertaining that because that is what has been paralyzing us for a long time. And we cannot keep hating. We cannot keep talking about hate. We cannot keep doing that. Let's talk about love. Let's talk about unity. Let's talk about peace. Because the more we talk about it, the more it's going to happen. So let's unite Africa. Again, I want to remind you guys to stay connected with One Africa YouTube channel. And this is because this is our second channel. So go and this live stream will be coming back and do from this channel, One Africa Forum. So go subscribe and stay connected with that, because one day this live stream will be doing from there. If you are not finding it, just go to Swahili Nation page and go all the way to down. You will see the other channel, One Africa, and subscribe and stay connected with that. I keep this conversation going on Twitter as well. I'll show you guys. This is I show you already here. This is my Twitter, and I'm having conversation there. I love what's going on Twitter there, because I dedicated my time in my life to stand with my brothers and sisters in Africa. So here, stay connected. In Twitter, there's so many conversation we are carrying on there. So please go and stay connected with that. Mika Chavala, you can stay connected as well with Swahili Nation Twitter account. One Swahili Nation. The same thing as well on on Instagram as well, to stay connected. And also, let me share with you guys the WhatsApp. I'll just share the link of WhatsApp group. We're gonna be every time when we're about to go live, we'll be letting you guys know in the WhatsApp group as well. And I see some people are calling, like video call in WhatsApp. Guys, it's not gonna be possible to do video call there in the group, in the WhatsApp group. There's a lot of people already joined. So it's going to be really tough to do that. If you want to join and if you want to raise your voice, this is the place where, let me copy this link. This is the place where you can share your different thoughts. You can share different stuff about Africa, because it's not just about Ethiopia. Right now, Ethiopia, it's a current issue. That's why we are putting emphasis on it, because Western media, it's portraying Ethiopia in a very bad way, right? So that's why Swahili Nation is dedicated to, I dedicated Swahili Nation to stand with my people, my brothers and sisters in Ethiopia and in Africa in general, during this tough time. So yeah, please stay connected. I'm trying to copy the link of WhatsApp group to share with you guys. Oh, why I cannot copy? All right, let me try to see. Give me a moment. Okay, it's right here. Very soon. Wait, come on. No. Okay, copy that one. So I want to appreciate everybody who joined here today. That's WhatsApp group. If you go there, it's One Africa Forum WhatsApp group, and we are having that forum every single day at 9 p.m. I want to shout out to the super chat again. Appreciate you guys for your giving. It helps a lot in the movement we are doing here in Swahili Nation. There's so many different expenses we're using. So I appreciate for the super chat. I appreciate for Elias Seyome for giving. God bless you. Very generous. And I appreciate for Abdi for giving. I appreciate. Thank you for having me, brother. I've never seen a United African before. You are doing a good job for our continent. I'm looking forward to talking to you again. Yes, appreciate Abdi. This is the guy that we had here area. Appreciate. Hope I'll see you at 9 p.m. later today. Yeah, I'll be coming here with the team and to talk about that. Yeah. So again, I appreciate for everybody who joined me here today in this urgent call. I'll be releasing a video hopefully very soon right now about my fellow Africans. And I'll leave you with my fellow Africans one. We are available on One Africa podcast. So you can check us, One Africa podcast, on iTunes, on Spotify, on SoundCloud, on AudioMac, One Africa podcast. Go there and you'll see all the podcasts we uploaded there. And right now, as I'm leaving, I will leave you guys with One Africa, my fellow Africans, speech number 1. Today, I did the speech number 2. I'll be sharing with you guys. I'll be uploading on YouTube a little bit later after this. But for now, I love you guys so much. I love Africa so much. And I will always stand with Africa. My side will always be with Africa. Right? So I hope you do too. I hope you love Africa too. So I'll leave you guys with this speech and this. Yeah, let me share with you guys. Don't forget to meet us at 9 p.m. today. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed in this channel and in One Africa channel as well. And stay connected with One Africa podcast on Spotify, iTunes. Just write One Africa. If you write One Africa, Mika Chavala, you'll be able to see there. All right, guys, I love you so much. Enjoy. Second speech of my fellow African will be coming today. All right. My fellow Africans, it is the time to tell our own stories, our truth, the side of the story. No one else can tell Africa's stories but Africans. No one else can defend Africa but Africans. No one else can support or change Africa but Africans. This is our home. This is our Eden. This is our pride. And this is our heritage. Africa Mother. Today, I officially and publicly announce Swahili Nation as an African media. Swahili Nation sets an agenda by Africans, about Africans, for the Africans. This is your family, this is your home, and this is your media, African media. For a long time, our stories, our crises, and things that we are going through have been told by other medias from other continents, like Western media, Eastern media, and people that pay attention to it, but it's not always truth. They have their own mission. They have their own goals to achieve. And remember, mind you, this is American media, or this is British media. It's not African. So yes, they can tell our stories, but they're not going to tell our story like the way we do. Because this is our passion. This is who we are. We are Africans. And we're going to talk about Africa. And we're going to share our story about Africa. And we're going to build Africa with our own hands. We're going to build Africa with our media. We're going to build Africa with our own money, with our own creativity, and with our own ability. No one else is going to be there to save Africa, but Africans ourselves. Therefore, we must believe in ourselves. We must stand up confidently and know that we are not lesser than anybody else, nor better than anyone else. We are all created uniquely. We have ability given by God to do things in a different level, but the color of your skin, your language, your religion, your tribe should not be the reason for you to feel lesser than anyone else. Should not be the reason for you to feel like you don't matter. You matter, and your voice matters. And it's the time for African media like Swahili Nation to raise our voices. It doesn't matter whether you're professional. It doesn't matter whether you've never been on television before, you've never been on media before. But this is the place where you're going to have opportunity to come to share your idea, to come to raise your voice about things that matters a lot to you. My fellow Africans, it's a time for us to stop fighting with one another. It's a time for us to stop hating on one another. Mind that your brother and sister are not just those that were born from the same family with you, but also those who don't speak like you, worship like you, look like you, smell like you. They are also your brothers and sisters. If your neighbor is not at peace, you're never going to be at peace. My fellow Africans, I argue everybody out there, lay down your weapon. Lay down your weapon. Find peace with someone. Find love with someone. Let's be united, because we are never going to conquer. We are never going to have a future. We're never going to have a brighter tomorrow if we are not united. Africa is blessed with so many resources. And the 60% of Africa's population, the youth under 25 years. Man, that's the potential. And it's a time for Africa to wake up. The time is now to come together. The time is now to lay down our weapons and knowing that that's your brother and he's not your enemy. Yes, there's a lot of mistakes have been done in the past, but it's the time to look towards the future. It's the time to build a new Africa, a one Africa, Africa that is united, Africa that is determined, Africa that is confident, Africa that is so rich with everything. We have everything you could ever mention. It's here in Africa. Very smart people, kind people, beautiful culture. It's a time, man. It's a time. It's a time to join One Africa movement. It's a time to be one. It's a time to know that, you know what, we cannot conquer this war if we are not united. Nobody should ever beg for their lives. I've seen videos of people begging for their lives to another human being. This life that we have, it's a gift from God, and we cannot waste. No one has a right to take somebody else's life. Lay down your weapon and let's cherish our life. Let's remember that our differences, our diversity is our blessing. Let's not make it look like a curse. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's learn how to love one another. Let's learn how to want peace with one another. Let's be united. That is very important. That's the first thing to do. Because if we're not united, we're going to keep having civil wars. And our governments, our budgets, they will always focus on that. And they're not going to focus on the development of our continent. Guys, lastly, don't pay attention to what Western media say about Africa. Let's speak and let's spread a word and let's spread awareness about Africa. Let's tell our own stories. And that's why I'm asking you, my fellow Africans, to join Swahili Nation, African media, to tell you a story. Tell Africa's story. It's beautiful. And you know what? When we raise our voice together, the world will listen. We'll surely listen because we are united, because we love one another, because we want peace with one another. Because instead of going on a war and fight with your neighbor, we're going to lay down weapon and we're going to have conversation and we're going to have compromising and we're going to have all those sort of things. Because war, it can never be an option in our society. We should put to an end. We should stop fighting with one another. If God is on our side, no one can ever be against us. God is with Africa. Therefore, Africa shall prevail in unity. Africa shall prevail. And we're going to build this Africa with our own media. We're going to build this Africa with our own hands, not with blood, because we're not going to shed blood any longer. We can't afford to fight and to kill one another. Africa is a peaceful continent. What is happening in Ethiopia, it's beautiful seeing thousands and millions of people coming together, marching together, and wanting peace and wanting unity for their countries. And that is what is happening across Africa. I want to remind you guys that we are on the right direction of reconciliation, the right direction of peace, the right direction of unity. Let's do it now, because we don't have time. I love Africa. I hope you do too. Don't forget to love one another. Spread peace wherever you are, and keep that bond of unity going on. The work has begun now. My fellow Africans, the time is now to come together and to fight against colonial power. Talking about fight, I don't mean using guns, bombs. We don't need to use violence to fight against colonial power. I'm talking about unity. Our unity is our strength. Our unity is our weapon against colonial power. What is going on in Ethiopia, guys, it's not a civil war. It's a colonial war. And it's a time for Africans and for the continent of Africa to realize that, to wake up and to stand with our brothers and sisters in Ethiopia. They can't stand alone. Our unity is a threat. Our unity is a strength. Remember what Nyerere said in 1997, that without unity, there's no future for Africa. If we want to save Africa, if we want to have a secured future, a secured place for our children, for our brothers and sisters, for innocent people in Africa, we need to stand together and to unite. I don't know why you are scared to stand with Ethiopia. I don't know why you don't want to say anything about the current situation that is going on in Ethiopia. I don't know if you're interested in One Africa. I don't know if you're interested in United Africa. But I will tell you this right now for real. If we are not one, we are not going to stand against colonial power. The only solution for us is to stand. And right now, guys, we're about to hit a breakthrough. We're about to hit a breakthrough. I don't know, some of you, it take a long time to understand, but we're about to hit a breakthrough. And I have only one question for y'all. If you're not standing with your African brother, who are you standing with? If you're not standing with Ethiopia right now, who are you standing with? If you're not supporting the Ethiopian government, the government that has been elected democratically with the people of Ethiopia, who are you standing with? If your neighbor is not at peace, you can never be at peace. We can stop what is going on right now by coming together and uniting together to stand with our brothers and sisters. Africa is a place of peace. Africa has been taken advantage of for a long time, for many years. But this has to stop. And it has to stop when young Africans and people from Africa come together, stand together in unity, despite of our differences, despite of our religions, despite of our ethnicity, but come together with one vision and only one vision, to see one Africa, a united Africa. I've been talking about this all the time. I've been sharing this all the time, and I will not stop until I see it happen. Until my last breath, I will always talk about one Africa, because you have no idea how many lives will be served just by us being united. I'll say this again. You might be thinking that what is going on there is civil war. It's not a civil war. It's a colonial war. When you see these great nations come together and fight against a country in Africa, it's a time you need to realize that the clock is ticking. The clock is ticking. We are about to hit a breakthrough, man. And if every country in Africa will stand together with the country of Ethiopia, without thinking about how are you going to benefit from this situation, we cannot think like that, because our brothers are not at peace right now, because our brothers' lives are in danger. I don't know if you pay attention to that. I don't know if you pay attention to what is going on. I don't know if you pay attention. I've been talking to people in Ethiopia. I've been talking to my friends in Addis Ababa. I've been talking to my friends from all over the world, hearing different stories about what is going on right now. And I'm telling you that Africa, if we're not coming together, if that is not our goal, if that is not what we are thinking of right now, we are going to lose. We are going to lose. But failure is not an option. We cannot think or even allow failure to come with us. It's not an option. Being divided is not an option. And I'm talking to you, African leaders who are quiet with what is going on right now. Our neighbors, our African brothers, the headquarters of African Union is at risk. What are we doing about it? As African, what are we doing about it? I will never organize people to be violent. I will never ask people to go to fight and to kill some other people in this colonial world. That's not what I'll ask for, because violence is not an answer. It's not. Actually, the person who used violence, it's a coward. Violence is not an answer. Our weapon as African is unity. A united Africa is a threat to a colonial power. Remember what happened back in the days when our ancestors, they were fighting for the independence of Africa. Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere, Kwame Nkrumah, Haile Selassie, Nelson Mandela, and so many, Kenneth Kaunda, so many different great leaders of Africa. They stood together. They unite. And they fought against colonial power. And what is happening right now, guys, it is no different with that. It's just a new version, a different way, because Ethiopia is a strong nation. It's the only country in Africa that was not colonized. It's a symbol of independence of Africa. And if we cannot stand together to protect our pride, then who are we standing for? Who are you standing with? If you're not with Africa, you are against Africa. You cannot have both options. You cannot have both ways. If you're not standing with Africa, you are against Africa. It's a time to come together. It's a time to unite. Guys, it's a time. It's a time to show our oneness. Ethiopia supported African countries during colonialism. While we were going through, we look at Ethiopia and we saw that they defeated Italians. And we're like, it's possible for us as well not to be colonized. It's possible for us to get rid of colonialism. Ethiopia, it was a motivation. It is a motivation of so many African countries. When you talk about independence and so many other different ways. It's the oldest nation, man, in this world, Ethiopia. That's our pride, man. I don't care whether you're Ethiopian, whether you're not Ethiopian, but that is our pride. And I will stand with them. I will stand with Ethiopia because that is the pride for me as an African, for me as a Tanzanian. And so I'm asking my brothers and sisters in Tanzania that the time is now to stand with our brothers and sisters. The time is now to raise our voice. The time is now to say no more. The time is now to say, let's come together, man. Let's come together and stand with our brother. Because if Ethiopia is not at peace, Africa can never be at peace. So let's stand together. Do something today. Join us. Join in this movement, guys, and let's raise our voice. Let's say no to colonial power. We don't need anyone to interfere African issues. We don't need that because we are capable and we are able to solve our own problem. African problems for Africans. African problems for African. We're able to do that. And we can only do that when we come together and say, we got you, Ethiopia. We're with you in this fight. We got you, Sudan. We're with you in this fight. We got you, Mali. We're with you in that. We got you, Congo. We are with you in this. The time is now. Man, look at youth across the continent. They're united. They know what Africa means to them. We know what Africa means to us and to our future. And we want to have a bright future in Africa. We want to have the best future in Africa. And we know that we need to be united. So our leaders, please see what is happening. See what is happening. See young people, they're hungry for change. And we want nothing but one Africa. That's what we want. Nothing but one Africa. Lastly, my dear brothers and sisters in Ethiopia, don't be disappointed when you see some other countries or people quiet about the situation that is going on in Ethiopia. Yes, they might not be able to speak about it, but they're praying for you. We are praying for you. We are standing for you. My wish is to see everybody speaking, but I know not everybody is going to talk. I know not everybody is going to speak, but know this, that we are with you in this journey. We are standing with you. We love you, and we're going to get through this because we are not in this fight alone. God is besides us, fighting with us and fighting for us. And I'm telling you, if God is on our side, nobody can be against us. This war, man, is not about us, but it's about God. This battle is for him, man. And he's going to stand with Africa because Africa, it's his nation. Africans are his people. So we are saying no to violence. We're saying no to colonialism. We are saying no to neocolonialism. We say no to superpowers because we can stand together and we're going to get through this because our unity is our weapon and is our strength. One Africa. Unity will not make us rich, but it will make it difficult for Africans and African countries to be disregarded and humiliated by superpower. Let's be united. Let's come together with our issues, with our problem. We'll solve them other times. But the urgent call for now is unity, is one Africa. I love you guys. God bless Africa. God bless Ethiopia. Stay safe out there.